like this.
In this episode, I'm going to take a little time to share with you some of the colours and also colour combinations I've been thinking about. I want something that, for starters, is maybe a little unusual, but also something that will make my car stand out from the others, but in a good way. I've got an idea to put together a few colour combinations of exterior and interior that to some may seem a step too far, and who knows, it might be. But nothing ventured, nothing gained, and to the victor the spoil and all that. I've got maybe just one chance to make an impression in a super crowded car market. Will I have the strength of my conviction, or simply bottle it by playing safe? We shall see. Choosing a colour for your car is a big deal, and also a lot harder than you might think. The task is not quite as simple as choosing one's favourite colour, which in my case would be red, because not every car suits every colour. For some, baby pink may be their favourite colour, but I'd certainly consider it a crime if I saw an Aston Martin defaced with such a colour. Now, the default cool colour these days seems to be a variation on a metallic grey. No luxury or high-end car would even consider a production run without including it, or some kind of silver. Another cool colour making a comeback is white. This seems to work on a variety of cars, even some big luxury Beamers are now coated with the stuff. But even so, one must be careful. Get too happy with the white paint and the car will just end up looking a bit naff. Choosing the right colour for my FT project was a long, drawn-out process with lots of second-guessing myself and doubt thrown in. After looking at a wide variety of colours, I narrowed my choice down to just two. The next step was to test them out and get a better idea if they were right or not. One of the colours I started looking at that came to my attention only a few months ago is a somewhat retro colour that's making a big comeback, and that's metallic brown, and in particular a Porsche colour called Macadamia Metallic. Now I know you've probably got a picture of an old Vauxhall Viva in your head with red velvet seats, but no, check out some of these brown cars. Set against the brown, I want to put a pale mint green interior, giving the car the colour combination of an after 8. Mint and brown are two colours not normally seen on cars, but I think they could make an exciting and unusual combination. The other colour I wanted to go with is a version of gunmetallic grey. This is somewhat of a safe choice. Every high-end car will have a version of this colour. I wanted to set this subdued colour against an opulent, deep oxblood red leather interior. Not overly ambitious, but a proven high-end colour combination. But which do I ultimately go with? It's still too close to call. Hello and welcome back to this week's edition of Dream Car Garage, and we're continuing with our FT project. Now, just by way of a massive recap, let me go through all the stages of the project so far. So we've conceived the project, which in episode 1. So the project started, it's well on the way now. We've taken the car, stripped it out, detached the body from the chassis. We're in the process of detailing the chassis. Now today we're at a crucial point because I have to decide on a car colour, because the next thing that's going to go off is the body's going to go off to get resprayed. So what we're going to have to do now, we're going to have a look around the body. The body's been made structurally perfect, which is pretty much what I wanted. So we're going to have a look at the body, look underneath, and look at it just before it goes away to get repainted. And today also we're going to investigate. I've narrowed down my colour selection down to just 2 colours I'm interested in. So we're going to see if we can sample that on one of the cars. And then next thing you know, body goes off, which is quite an exciting stage. So I'm going to take the camera and look around the shell of the car, and then we're going to explore some paint options, because today I have to decide on what colour I actually want to paint the car. Now this is kind of the frightening part, because I mean, This doesn't look like anything to anybody really. I mean, what we have here is just the shell of a car, just up on a portable trolley, just ready to get repainted. And I mean, when a car's been taken apart like this, it doesn't look anything, if we're going to be perfectly honest. I mean, this car at the moment is at its least valuable, although ironically it's had a tremendous amount of money spent on it. The engine's been stripped out, taken out. Obviously it's not taken out to throw away, taken out to put back. Gearbox is gone, everything's been stripped out, the interior's gone. So we're just left with a shell. So this is what we've got. A completely stripped out car. Worth at the moment pretty much nothing apart to anyone but me. But for me this represents quite a significant juncture in our project, because now the car is structurally perfect and now it's just getting ready. Now it's ready, not getting ready, to go off to get resprayed. Inside and out, up, underneath. So it's a big deal. To recap in terms of some of the work done, these were rotten. Now they're brand new solid sills. Solid, 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 solid. We've smoothed this in, get rid of the indentation to give a better profile. Solid, solid. Looking underneath, it's all been repainted now. Windows out, seals out. Just the shell. Okay, now the next step before the car goes off to actually get resprayed is to actually choose a paint colour. Now, of all the colours I was looking at, I looked at the kind of blue you get in the Audi RS4, the blue that you get in a new BMW M5, sort of a Astral type blue metallic. I've looked at varieties of greys and silvers. And I started looking at other kind of colours, looked at reds, and I've narrowed it down to two colours in particular that I really like the look of that I want to explore today. One's a dark brown metallic. I think that's dark brown is making a really big comeback. I think it'd be interesting to see this car in that kind of colour. Once you see it's the dark brown colour set off against some of the chrome and some of the silver that the car will ultimately have. And also something slightly more conventional, which is a gunmetallic grey, gunmetallic silver. Not that dissimilar to what you get on the Mini Cooper S or some of the Aston Martins. Alright, I'm going to start off by spraying this wheel arch here. I mean, it's only really just to give us an idea of what the car would look like in this particular colour, and then I'm going to do the other wheel arch. So we're not looking at the quality of finish or whether it runs or anything like that, it's just really looking at seeing what the colour looks like. So I'm going to start on this side. Here we go. Okay, we've sprayed one rear wheel arch. Now this is just a rough job really, just to kind of give an indication of what this colour actually looks like. It's going to go off to the body shop, so it doesn't matter how rough the job is or how the paint's peeling or dripping or anything like that, because obviously it's going to get professionally resprayed anyway. But just to give us an indication, I think because we've seen the dark grey metallic on so many things, and even on the current car, this particular door is almost dark grey metallic as it is, it doesn't appear that sensational really, by way of a difference. Obviously if the car's done completely top to toe in this colour, it's going to have a slightly different effect, but just gives us by way of a rough idea, gives us an indication of what this particular colour looks like. Now let's try the brown. Okay, we've tried the brown on the other wheel arch. Sorry, we've tried the gun metallic on the other wheel arch, and because we've seen gun metallic so many times, it doesn't look that revolutionary. Obviously, if the cold car painting in it, it'd look quite nice. But now we're going to explore the brown. Now, The actual brown I was thinking of using for the project was called Macadamia Metallic, which is a 2011-2012 colour that Porsche used. So it's a Porsche colour. I haven't quite got hold of that right now, so I got as close as I could to that colour in lieu of it actually being spray painted properly. So this is a dark brown metallic, but not the dark brown metallic we're going to be using. But it should give us a bit of an idea of what this car would look like if it were in a brown. Now, these are relatively cheap but valid experiments, because if you look in books or just get a can of paint and think, oh, that's a nice colour, I'll spray the whole car in it, it's kind of hard to tell, even if you generate a computer image, exactly what the car would look like once fully sprayed. It's a little bit of a gamble, and seeing as how expensive it is to spray a car, it could be a couple of £1,000s, and that's quite an expensive gamble. So for the cost of just a few pounds for a can of paint, the car's going to get resprayed anyway, so I'm just going to experiment, spray part of the car and see what it looks like. We've sprayed our section. Let's have a little bit of a close-up. Not really the very best experiment, I don't think. It's still hard to tell from just this cross-section. And obviously, there's imperfections in the bodywork that gets sorted out at a professional body shop. But it's a little hard to tell, actually, to be honest with you, from this little section I've done. You know, how the car would fare if it were covered all over. And looking at it, it's not quite as dark as the colour I would want, but it starts to give us some idea. I think what I've come to realise straight away is that it's, you know, although it's not perfect on this car because I've not sprayed it properly and it's only a small section, it's still more interesting to me than the dark silver, which we pretty much see just about everywhere. So I think for me, I'm going to stick with a version of the brown. I'm going to go for Macadamia Metallic, which is a Porsche colour. So hopefully, next time we see this car, it'll be covered all over in dark